Hey, what's up, y'all? Today I'm not gonna do a commentary. I'm just gonna do like a straight review. Because already my last episode I did it. It wasn't really a review. It was more of like a recap. So this one I really wanted to tell you guys what I thought about it, man. Because every episode, man, is great, man. Like this. Well, before I get into it, I want to tell you guys that I want to make my own anime, man, and this really inspired me just to do me because it's so different. Like, think about it, man. It's a samurai, like fighting like a evil dark deity, and you got all. It's just a weird show. Like, if I thought about the show, I would definitely question if people would like it. That's what I think. I was like, my show is really different. It's called Hunters, and I thought, man, maybe it's too different. But now seeing Samurai Jack, I'm like, maybe it'll work out. But anyways, man, yeah, let's get straight into it. Like it started off, man. First, I want to start off by saying, man, like spoiler alert, and I want to give this episode a 5 out of 5, man. It was just dope. All right, so like I said, it started off with this spaceship or whatever. It turns out it's a prison. It crash lands on Earth or whatever Alku calls it. I'm gonna just call it Earth, and it lands in the desert. And what I want to know is, like, one thing I really don't like is how do these enemies always find Jack? Like, how do they just know? Like, does he have some type of tracking device on it, or like, cause they always know? And like, how did Ashi know? Like, where to find? It was just weird. Like, that's one thing I really don't like about it. I won't say it's like because I'm still giving all the episodes pretty much a 5 out of 5. It's not like that bad, but I'm just wondering, like, how do they always find Jack? But anyways, yeah, so like this spaceship, it pretty much finds Jack, like it always finds Jack. But anyways, so it crash lands in the desert that Jack and Archie are traveling in. And Jack and Archie, I don't know where they're traveling, they're just traveling, really, it never really says. And yeah, so they're traveling on this big beast through the desert. And these tigers come in. It's like a lot of tigers. I guess it's like a cult. And of course they're trying to. I pretty much knew what was going on because it was like all the same people. I was like, oh, they're gonna kill Jack, but Jack and Archie didn't really recognize. And yeah, man. So it's just Jack and Archie. They get their spot, and they're just chilling. And then like the tigers just keep on coming. Like they're crowding the place up to the point to where Jack and Archie are like face to face. They're close up. And it's crazy because Jack's sword touches Archie. It's kind of like metaphoric, like, yeah, it's like saying like Jack is, because the whole episode, man, it was pretty much, So yeah, that happened, and then it's just weird between it, and I like that, man, because if you think about it, man, Jack probably hasn't ever had a female in his life, man. He's like 70 years old now. Because if you think, he was like 20 in the first season, or the first series. And it's been 50, so he has to be around 70. But technically, he's still 20 something, because he hasn't aged. So you gotta give him this, man. Come on, man. Like, come on, man. And Ashi hasn't ever been with a guy before. Like, come to think of it, her whole life, she's just been with females, probably, So they both need this, man. Like, y'all should have known it was gonna happen, man. But I like it, man. Like, I like how the whole episode, it was just built up. Like, they didn't kiss the first. It was just built like if that was in real life, you would. All right, so I'm getting too far ahead of myself. So yeah, so they're just touching hands and all on action, cute stuff, like they're trying to grab the pole, but they're touching hands. And it's funny because Jack is so awkward because if you think this is probably Jack's first girl, so of course he's not gonna know how to act. Really, he's just acting all awkward. He's like, oh, it's crazy how our hands almost touch. It was dope. And then these like the tigers, like they have letters on their shirt, and it like Jack's looking around and it spells out like die Samurai Jack, and then they just start attacking Samurai and Ashi, and they escape, because they have to, because they're gonna get over. Honestly, if it was me, man, because Ashi, man, she just destroyed a whole army of yeah. So I mean, they easily could have destroyed them, but I guess they just wanted to be alone. So I mean, if you ask me, why would you jump out into the desert? I mean, just destroy them and keep on going. But I mean, hey, the plot has to go on, So, yeah, so they escape and they are pretty much stranded in the desert. So they're used to that. So they just start walking. They're cool with it. and they start bonding. You know, it's dope. Like they just bonding and bonding and bonding, man. I really like this, man. Like it's like you're there. You know, it's cool. So, anyways, so you know, a sandstorm comes and they have to find shelter. And luckily, they found, well, not luckily, but they found this the spaceship that crashed. And they go in there, and for some reason they explore. I'm like, bro, why not just stay at the entrance and wait for the storm? You don't know what that is. You know, you don't know what could be in there. After all the stuff that attacked, like, why would you? But like I said, the plot has to go on. And yeah, man. So they explore, and like Jack, well, Archie gets bit by this slug, and you know Jack has to suck the poison out. And I'm like, man, like that. Well, Jack is just a good person, so never mind. I think he would do that for pretty much anybody. I think in real life, like, wouldn't that be pretty dangerous? Or I guess you could just really spit it out. But don't you have like, can it just still get into your system through your glands in your mouth and all? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, anyway, so Jack sucks the poison out of cause like the slug bit her and it's like spreading the poison, and Jack sucks it out. And you can tell, I think Archie like that shit, but you can tell. Yeah, so anyways, Jack sucks the poison out, and then, they pretty much they're like, alright, let's get out of here, man. I don't know what's going on here. And it's like a prison, and all the prisoners are gone, you know, so it makes you wonder, like, what's going on? You know, so, eventually they keep on running, and out of nowhere, like, this creature starts following them. They're trying to get to him, so they just start running. They're like, oh, man, we gotta get away from this creature. So eventually the creature catches up to him, and it turns out that the slug is actually one big thing. And at first, cause I read the little review thing. I have DirecTV, so, you know, it shows like what the next episode is pretty much going to be. Pretty much it's like a recap. So, it said, that Jack and Archie will face one of the universe's deadliest creatures. And when I saw the creature, I'm like, for real, yo, that's the bitch y'all could come up with? But after they started fighting him, man, I was like, okay, I can see. Like, this is, like, imagine fighting that thing, man. Like, it's overwhelming and it regenerates, so, like, you really can't destroy it. So I'm like, okay, yeah, that would pretty much be like a badass, you know, I wouldn't want to fight that. So, yeah, so, you know, they're fighting him, man. They're like, oh, man, we can't beat it. We have to escape. So Jack, like, he cuts a hole in the ground and, like, he escapes. And at first, I thought Jack turned into the monster, because I'm like, but yeah, so anyways, they escape and they run to this little place. Like, it's like this little door. Well, it's like a big door. And it's like blinking. You know, it's pretty much like, so they're like, let's go and investigate. So they go and like, it scans them, and it turns out like that they got access granted because, you know, they're not a prisoner. So it said access granted since you're not a prisoner. And I thought that was dope. Cause I mean, like, I feel like most shows just would have, you know, granted them. I feel like Samurai Jack, it's just dope, man. So yeah, so they go into the place, they find a buttload of weapons, you know, all she gets, you know, she gets her weapon, she's ready. And then Jack finds this little disc, and, like, pretty much, yeah, so, like, pretty much it's explaining how to destroy the enemy and all, and it's in English. If you think about it, that's weird now that I think about it, like, why is it in English? But anyways, yeah, it should be, like, in, like, the space, anyways, so, like, Jack is getting information on how to destroy, like, how to activate the thing to destroy the enemy. So, all she, you know, she's new to a lot of things. So, she's using this little blaster, and she accidentally shoots it, and it distracts Jack while it's explaining how to destroy the enemy. And I thought that was so dope. Like, you know, like, I feel like most shows don't do things like that, you know? Like, most shows just would have showed you how to destroy it. And, you know, it would have destroyed it, but this time, you know, it's just dope, like, how they do different things. So, yeah, so, you know, Jack has the weapon, but he doesn't know how to use it. And for some reason, he doesn't tell Archie. I guess he's trying to seem cooler, because, you know, he's Samurai Jack, so I guess he has to, you know, uphold some type of image. So, yeah, so, they get that, they find it, well, the monster finds them again, and they start fighting. And this time, they're in a confined space, which is not smart at all. They're in a confined space with little tunnels. And this thing is actually smart if you look at it. Like, this thing can actually, like, it thinks. So, yeah, so, you know, they're fighting it, and Ashi's like, Jack, use the thing, use it. Jack's like, I can't, I don't know how. So Ashi's like, let me try, and she tries, and it doesn't work. And, yeah, so pretty much they're fighting, and, like, while all she's trying to figure out how to make it work, like this slug like sneak attacks her and like gets on her clothes and like rips her clothes up. And it's dope because like Jack just looks back. He doesn't even recognize her first. He's like, "Oh man, Archie, you're naked." And she's like, "So?" Like I said, like she's used to being around females, so she doesn't know. So she's like, "Okay," and but Jack is like, "Oh man, like has Jack ever even seen a woman naked?" Because you think about it, back in the day, there wasn't like websites where you could see it. So has Jack ever even seen it? You gotta think about that, man. So Jack is awkward and all, and they're fighting and all, and Jack covers her up. I think it's dope, anyway. So they're fighting and eventually they become overwhelmed. So Jack is like, "Oh man, the only way we can destroy this thing is by using this." So Jack really figured. I mean, I pretty much knew they wasn't gonna die because they got 2 more episodes, and why would Jack die? Honestly, man, I'll get into this because I'm gonna do like a episode 9, like what I think it's gonna be about. So I'll get into what I think is gonna happen with Ashley later on in this thing. So so Jack eventually he figures out how to use it, and it zaps the worms, and it pretty much neutralizes them. And even the venom that like was affecting them, it gets pretty much neutralized. And they're tired, man, because like it was overwhelming. So they were just huffing and puffing and looking at each other like you can tell. I already knew what was about to happen. So they're just looking at each other, and they finally kiss, man. And I was like, bro, I was so hyped because I had just got back from the gym with my homeboy, so I didn't watch the episode until like 3 o'clock at night. So I was just like, oh man, like let's go, because I knew this was gonna happen. So so they kissed, and that was pretty much the end of the episode. And I mean, I pretty much y'all probably already know what happened after that, So yeah, man. But yeah, this is what I really want to talk about, man. Man, well, first of all, man, great episode, man. I love it. My personal favorite episode was episode 2 because it was just like, first of all, it's kind of like it was just my favorite. Like the action, you really get introduced. Like you see how bad those set. It was crazy, man. But yeah, 5 out of 5, man. Honestly, man, the only episode I wouldn't give 5 out of 5 is I think it was episode 3 when it was inside of that monster. I give that one like a 4 out of 5, but it was still great. But yeah, man, episode 9, man. If y'all did not recognize where Jack was, then I highly suggest go back. I don't know what episode it was, but I think his name is the Guardian. Like Jack. All right, so it's the promo. It says next time on Samurai Jack, and it shows Jack. I mean, for some reason Jack is alone, man. I hope. Like, I honestly, man, I hope not, but I think Archie's gonna die, man. Like, I mean, if you look at how this season is going, it's so dark, it's so gritty, man. I hope not, man. I really hope not, but I think Archie. I mean, I don't think it will happen. I think like she'll be on the verge of it, but Jack saves her. Because I mean, that's too much. I mean, honestly. But yeah, so it's Jack alone. We don't know what happened to Archie yet. So it's just Jack walk. I guess Jack has to go alone, again. I hope. So yeah, so it's just Jack walking, and Jack is like, I know this place. So I'm like, he knows this place. So this is the place he was at before, obviously. So, and I just see like a graveyard, and I'm thinking like, wait, graveyard. And it looks just like the other one. So I'm thinking like, cause like, the Guardian, he guards this, if you haven't watched it, I highly suggest you go watch it. He fights the Guardian. He's really overmatched. The Guardian just destroys Jack. And the Guardian's about to kill Jack, but he sees a prophecy in the time portal. He's like, not yet, Jack, not yet, and not yet. And then he puts Jack on this little flying thing and he flies him away. So Jack, obviously Jack's about to go back. It's obvious. If you haven't seen the episode, go back and see it, because then you'll see. Like it's this graveyard, because a Guardian, like he kills it. He's this bad behind guy, he kills everybody who tries to get in. No matter how small or it's like these big skulls. So he's definitely going to see the Guardian, but my thing is the Guardian dead? Because think about it, Aku said every time portal is gone. While it didn't look like Aku create, correct me if I'm wrong, but did Aku create those time portals, or? Cause I mean, why not just destroy them all in the first place? Or unless you wanted to just play around with Jack. But anyways, yeah. So there's still one more time portal, but like I said, Aku said he destroyed every time portal. So did he kill the Guardian? Cause I mean, like the way it ended, like the promo ended, it shows Jack, he's looking down, and in my opinion, he looks kind of shocked. So I hope it's not the Guardian dead, man, cause man, that would be like so messed up, you know? And like the time portal will be obviously be destroyed too, but honestly, I hope not, cause I mean, think about it, man. Like it's obvious, like the last episode is. I hope the last episode is like an hour long or something, man, cause it's obviously gonna be Jack and his old allies versus, you know, obviously the Scotsman gonna return, and it's gonna be like a whole army versus Aku, I believe, you know, and it'll be dope if the Guardian, you know, is a part of that, you know, but like would the Guardian be able to fight off Aku? Like he says, the guy said that he's been guarding that time portal for like eons and centuries, so he's pretty powerful. But like my thing is like, could he really hold off Aku? I hope so, man, because I mean, like the way it looks. I mean, and then like my thing is, well, yeah, my thing is okay. If he finds a time portal, then he's obviously going to go back in time, and he won't destroy Jack. I mean, he won't destroy Aku, so the Guardian kind of has to be dead if you think about it. Because like, would Jack, would he just go into the time portal and like lead? I'm pretty sure Asha would go with him if you still like. See, yeah, man, all signs are leading to the Guardian being dead, man. Oh man, I hope not. But yeah, man, we'll see, man. Yeah, great episode. I'm telling you, he's gonna see the Guardian next episode, so I will definitely do a review on that, man. This time it should be a lot earlier. Like I said, I was out. It was Saturday, you know. I was doing stuff with my friend. So yeah, but next Saturday, man, I'll be on it, man. So yeah, man. I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be crazy next 2 episodes, man. Yeah, thanks for watching, and like and subscribe if you want to. You know, I'm not, you know, if you want to. Like I said, I'll be having more content. Like as of lately, I've been really busy, you know, trying to get my life and all together, you know. So, but I'll definitely be uploading a lot more, man, and a lot more content, a lot more gameplay, a lot more walkthroughs, a lot more reviews too. So, yeah, man, thank you, and stay tuned for more. Thank you for watching. Stay jetty.